Welcome back, everyone. It is Thursday, January 23rd in the NBA. My best bets are on the way. In this video, we have 6 plays, and I'm going to dive into each of them in just one moment. As always, we begin with a recap of yesterday. Man, I am pissed. Let's talk about it. It was an 0-3 day. Now, I do put down there at the bottom Mark Williams, 10-plus points, minus 850. We did have a parlay yesterday, which was Mark Williams, 10 points, parlayed with James Harden, 20-plus points. Harden did not play. Technically, Mark Williams came through. I'm not going to count it as a winner, if you will, but technically it added to our record of 0.12 units. Hence why we're down 2.8, not 3. Our 3 losers, though. Day 1 of the ladder challenge. If you saw that loss, DeAndre Hunter went 2 of 14, saved his absolute worst game of the season for us. Thank you. So that started that. Ryan Dunn, I'm not too mad there. He shot 8 times, missed both of his threes, wide open. He ends with 6 points, I think. And then Julius Randle, he ends with 16, shot 4 of 13. So the guys we bet on yesterday, we had DeAndre Hunter, 2 for 14, 15%. Ryan Dunn shot 38%, the best of the day for us. And Julius Randle shot 30%. Just been one of those weeks, or the last 2 weeks, I feel like, where anyone we bet on sucks. The only market I feel like we have luck on is the under and threes. Those guys, when we bet unders and threes, they just don't make any of them, which is great. I don't have an under and threes today, but if today doesn't go well, we might be just taking unders for the next 2 weeks. And I don't like taking a ton of unders because they're no fun to watch, but man, it has been a grind in the NBA the last few days. But hey, either way, let's move on. Let's move to our favorite picks and let's pick up some momentum. Let's have a big day. We have a big card. We have a pick in the early game, which is Spurs and Pacers. So if you want that pick, stay tuned for the end of the video. But let's dive into our first pick of the day. I'll throw the guy in the thumbnail. Anthony Davis, our first play, over 23.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings. I like him at 24.5. I saw a couple lines bouncing back between 23 and 24. I don't honestly think it matters for Anthony Davis. He either scores 25 or he barely gets close to 20. So I really think this is a great spot for him. It's a TNT televised game, if I'm not mistaken, in LA. They're facing the Boston Celtics, who are on a back-to-back. Now, AD, if you look at him recently, he hasn't been too consistent, but obviously his whole body of work speaks for itself this season. And you look at Anthony Davis, in terms of his last 30 games, about over in 50% of them. Now, he's had some bad matchups in here, like against the Heat, bad spot there. Mavericks, not a great spot either. This game, I mean, he got injured in, so really I'm not going to count that one too much. But what I really like is this matchup for him is he'll face the Boston Celtics. Now, you look at his game log against the Celtics, he's been pretty good. I mean, he had 40 points in their most recent game last year, 16 here, 37, 17, 31. What I really like to see is the field goal attempts. I mean, that's this category right here. I mean, he is shooting a bunch. 26, 15, not great. 24, 13, 21, 25, 25. They kind of need him out there to score, and he's played really well against Kristaps. His last 2 against Kristaps, 40 and 55 points. He has absolutely dominated the matchup against Kristaps Porzingis. Now, obviously, if you look at how AD scores, he does rely on getting to the free throw line, which is not the best way to score against the Celtics. But again, they are not the best defense in terms of paint defense, and they are a team that will switch smaller guys onto Anthony Davis, and he'll be able to take advantage of those matchups. And it just feels like a spot where you see Anthony Davis be aggressive in. He's been really good against Kristaps, so I expect a return tonight. And he's just been really good in this matchup in general. And when you see Anthony Davis just getting 15 shots, I mean, he's over in 21 of 29 games. If he doesn't shoot 15 times tonight, I don't know what went wrong. Austin Reeves going to have a tough spot trying to get and work against Derek White or Drew Holiday. LeBron James probably gets Tatum or Jaylen Brown on him. I think you're going to see Anthony Davis have to be aggressive here. And I think if he's aggressive, he will score, because I just don't think the Celtics will double him. They'll let him go one-on-one on them and beat him with 2-pointers because they've played well, against him one-on-one before. So I think they'll just live with that. They shoot a lot of threes. They'll trade 2s for 3s all game long. So I think Anthony Davis has a pretty good game. I'll take his over in points. My second play is going to be a guy that we've had a terrible track record on, but that's because we bet his unders. Let's hope he shows up today because we're on his over. And that is a man that hates us, and that's Damontes Sabonis. Now, I've really only taken 2 of his unders, and he just becomes the best rebounder of all time. Today, we're asking him to do his job today, and that's over 31.5 points plus rebounds, minus 110 on BetMGM. I also like it at 32.5. I don't really like taking points or rebounds for Sabonis because you never really know which one he could go nuclear in. He has the capability of getting a 20-plus rebound game, but he also could score 20 or 25 points, kind of like what he did last night against the Warriors. Now, if you look at Sabonis on the season, he's been pretty good. I mean, he has been one of the most consistent players in the NBA. I mean, you look at it over in 21 of 30 games. I think we have 31.5, not a difference at all. So, it doesn't really matter there. What you really have to like, though, is the matchup against Nikola Jokic. Now, against Jokic, he's played really well. These are his last 8 games against him, 22 points per game, nearly 14 rebounds. I mean, he's over in every single one of these games except for, I guess, 2. This one, he went 14 and 16, not the greatest game. And then this one, 13 and 10. This was a game that he played without De'Aaron Fox. So I'm not too worried about that game. Fox, Monk, those guys all should be in there. And look, he's going to have to match Jokic's minutes. If you look at the Kings lineup, Alex Len is kind of a no-show. They don't really like to play him. So you see Sabonis getting a lot of minutes. Last night, 39 minutes, 32 here. Again, they won by 23, 38 minutes here, 36. Just didn't get anything going against the Bucks. But again, 38, 39, he's playing a ton of minutes, and he's going to match Jokic's minutes. So again, I think we see a realistic possibility. He sees minimum 30 minutes, which is over in 23 of 30. But again, I think if this game's tight, we're looking at a guy getting 36 or more minutes. He is an absolute beast. He can do it any which way. I think it's a great spot to back him. So I'll take the over in points plus rebounds. I imagine if this game's close, which it is an 8.5 point spread, which feels a little bit high, but I think the Kings will play their guys as long as it's not like a 20 plus point game. Sabonis will get the minutes. And so you should see Sabonis play a ton. And I think he can stuff the stat sheet. I don't really like get counting on the assists here. Sabonis not really getting a bunch of potential assists. I expect Monk and Fox to play a lot of pick and roll with Sabonis against Jokic. Hopefully they can get the ball in down to Sabonis, and he can actually attack the hoop and do what he does best. Not scoring right at the rim. Sabonis or Jokic, not the best rim protector. I really like Sabonis in this matchup. My third play, we're going to go back to the Lakers and Celtics game. And this is a guy that I expect to be back. If he's not back, whatever. I'm not much I can do with that. But it is going to be Kristaps Porzingis. And I like his over 24.5 points plus rebounds. I mean, individual line for Kristaps, it is going to be points. The line bumped from 16.5 up to 17.5. Once it did that, kind of prefer the rebounds here. Given AD, sure, he's out there and he'll be aggressive, but the Lakers give up a lot of rebounds to centers. They give up the 4th most. So I'd rather go points and rebounds if that's the case. 16.5, if that's your points line. I like it there. If you can only take individual, points would be the way to go. But I really like Kristaps in this spot here against this the Lakers. Now, like I said, there's a chance Kristaps doesn't play tonight, but last night he was ruled out with an illness. I feel like it was a very late scratch. Felt like they saw the Clippers rule out their guys, so they started to rest some guys, given they had a back-to-back here. I think Kristaps plays well, though. He is this the matchup, just like Anthony Davis has kind of cooked him before. He's kind of cooked AD in the past, and we look at on the season, Kristaps has been a cash cow. He's over in 14 of 19 towards this line. 2 of his misses right here against the Wizards, played 11 minutes, and here against the 76ers, 13 minutes. So, again, if he gets injured, whatever, there's not much we can do there. But when he's playing, 25 or more minutes over in 12 of 14 games, absolutely destroying the line. I mean, averaging 28.1 points and rebounds. If you look at his matchup against Anthony Davis, and I'll flip this kind of around, you go against Anthony Davis, you'll see he's actually played pretty well against AD. And while AD's cooking him on one side, he's playing pretty well against AD on the other side. You look at, wrong button. You look at recently, I mean, 28-11. Then 27-9, 23-12, 19-6. Been a very good match for Kristaps Porzingis. AD, not a guy that really likes to come outside of the paint. He's their main paint protector. So you see Kristaps kind of being able to stretch the floor, shoot those threes. I think he gets plenty of those open opportunities. You want a long shot kind of parlay piece. I like him to make 3 threes tonight. But also Kristaps, when he gets switches in the paint, they go to him. And they just say, hey, it's one of the most efficient plays, I think, in almost NBA history as a Kristaps post-up over the last 2 seasons. They'll go to him if they want to switch a smaller guy on him. That's where Kristaps can take advantage. I think it's a great matchup for him. I'll take his over. If he doesn't play, whatever, I'll move on. And not much I can do there. I think he absolutely dominates them. My next play, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because I'm going to be honest, I'm not confident this guy plays tonight. If he does play, I hate his matchup, but I really don't think he plays. But I'm still going to put it out there because I hate the matchup for him. I'll take the under. Like I said, I don't expect him to play. That's Kyrie Irving, under 29.5 points plus assists, minus 110 on DraftKings. Like I said, Kyrie last night played 39 minutes, did help us out with the ladder. I don't think he plays tonight. He's questionable. If he does play, hammer this under. I love it. Like I said, if he doesn't, you could skip forward to my next 2 plays. But I really I'll go through it real quick why I don't like this matchup for him. It's pretty self-explanatory. Kyrie Irving, sure, he's over in 3 straight, did go over against the Thunder recently, shot about 50%, converted 5 of his 6 potential, so it's great for him. But again, how he scores, terrible. Second defensively against his top 3 scoring methods. I get it. It's Kyrie Irving. Scary to take an under there, but it's a terrible spot. They're double-digit underdogs here. I think that kind of indicates Kyrie's not playing. Again, I'll fade him. If he does play, cool. If he doesn't play, whatever, we move on. We'll get our money back. Next play, ladder challenge. It's returning. I get it. People are going to be pissed. The ladder's back. At the end of the day, the ladder hits at about 56 to 57%. That's pretty good, assuming they're all plus 100 plays. We recommend playing them for 1 unit. And that includes losing 3 of the last 4, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get back to it. I'll try to maybe find a 3-leg parlay. Keep it simple. 3 legs. Don't need to get overcomplicated. 3 legs. Try to find something that hopefully hits. So we'll stay tuned for that. We'll post that later on today. I think we'll bounce back. We can't keep getting guys' worst performances of the season. We're talking Cade Cunningham going 7 for 26. DeAndre Hunter was probably the worst one we've ever had. 2 for 14, I think, is the worst we've ever seen. But hey, stay tuned for that. My final play of the day is in the Paris game, the London game. Paris, what am I saying? We got Wemby, and we're taking his over. First quarter points, though, over 6.5 first quarter points at minus 120 on FanDuel. This is a first quarter line. We've only taken one Q1 line. That was Joel Embiid. I don't know how long ago. He cashed. Today, we're asking Wembanyama to come through in the first quarter, get us 7 points. Now, obviously, it's an early start. Hopefully, he makes us look smart early. Here's the reason I like it, though. Wembanyama is obviously in Paris, in France, and the fans, anyone in attendance tonight is there. Well, not tonight. Well, technically tonight out there in France, but anyone there is going to be there for Wembanyama. And I understand there is some Spurs in the lineup that I hate and feel like they just refuse to pass to him. Chris Paul's not an idiot, though. I expect Chris Paul, the guy that leads this offense, to find ways to get Wembanyama the ball early. And look, you can take his first basket. It's probably plus 400. You assume Wemby wins the tip. I like that, but I just like the over in first quarter points. Now, if you look at Wemby on the season, not on the season, you look at his regular line, you look at this line, it's at 28.5 points. Now, I am a Wemby lover. He's one of my favorite players in the league. His points line is never at 28.5. It's like 23, 24.5, maybe 25.5. So the fact they bumped it to 28.5 is a pretty good indicator to me that they really think this is going to be a high volume game for Wembanyama, where it's like, all right, we know you're in France. We know you're going to try extra hard. Yeah, that makes me think, all right, so that's that. What about his Q1 points? Now, originally, when I was sending out plays to our DubClub, I thought this line was 9.5. And I was like, hell no, I ain't playing a 9.5 line until I found out that was just what DraftKings had. So don't play that on DraftKings. Go to any other book and it's 6.5 like it is on FanDuel. So obviously 6.5, a lot higher hit rate. Not the best, over and about 50%, give or take. But what I really want to say is I think this is a high volume first quarter for him. Now, you see recently he's been over, I don't know, whatever, 3 of his last 5. But he's been getting the volume. 5 shots here, 5 shots here, 5 here, 6 here, 5 here. So again, getting 5 shots normally, there should be an expectation that we get a few more than that. When he gets 5 or more attempts, we were over in about 60% of games. When he gets 6 or more field goal attempts in the first quarter, over an 8 of 9. And he's attempting, playing 8 or 9 minutes in these games. Look, if they don't get Wembanyama the ball early in this game, screw you, Spurs. There's no reason Wemby should not be getting 6 to 8 shots in the first quarter. There's just no reason. Everyone's there to watch him. He should get a good amount of volume early in this game. If he doesn't make his shots, whatever, gets 6 or 7 shots, doesn't make him, whatever. But he's going to be bombs away from 3. And man, he's going to want to start up and start hot in this game. So while I don't hate his over in points full game at 28.5, I'd rather not get involved there. Just let me get in and out first quarter, get the 7 points, and then I'm out of there. That's all I want. So again, I really like his over in first quarter points. If he starts off slow, maybe look at a live bet. But again, I really think he's going to come out hot here. Chris Paul, the offense should look to get him the ball early. The Pacers should not double him. He should get open opportunities from 3, get some drives, some alley-oops and stuff like that. The fans are there to see him. Spurs, lock in, get our boy Wemby the ball. That's my 6th and final play of the day. So to recap all the plays, Anthony Davis over in points. Sabonis over in points plus rebounds. Kristaps over in points plus rebounds. Kyrie, if he plays, under in points plus assists. Day 1 of the ladder challenge posted later on today. Stay tuned for that. We're bouncing back. And Wemby, our first play of the day, because that is a 2 o'clock start, over in first quarter points. Those are the plays. Those are the winners. We're bouncing back after the other debacle from yesterday. I'm not worried about it. Guys are eventually going to start making their shots for us when we bet on them. Knock on wood. Cross your fingers. Let's have a good day. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow with some more picks. Go Wemby. And when the ladder drops, I'll link it on the screen. We're bouncing back. We're having a winner today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.